What is going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So the Falcons picked up defensive end Adrian Clayborn to a one-year deal, but what exactly does this mean for us moving forward? Well, let's dive into that. So again, the Falcons picked up defensive end Adrian Clayborn from the Patriots to a one-year deal. Now he sure does sound familiar, right? He's the guy that had 6 sacks in one game against the Cowboys. Yeah, that's who we picked up. Well, what does this mean for us moving forward? I hate to say it, and I literally just complimented Adrian Clayborn on the 6-sack game against the Cowboys, but I think this means that Dan Quinn might not be wanting to upgrade that defensive line. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's kind of clear because he's keeping Vic Beasley and he's bringing back Adrian Clayborn. These are two players that, by the way, were not very high on pass rush grades, especially as shown in this tweet pretty recently. Even Vic Beasley replies, LOL yikes. So obviously, Dan Quinn is pretty comfortable with the players we have now, and he probably won't draft any defensive end superstar like Ed Oliver, either early in the draft or maybe just not at all. So, what now? If we pretty much know the defensive line is going to be how it is now, what should we look forward to? Well, as a fan of the team, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I have a fun theory, I guess, on what could happen. With Vic Beasley replying LOL yikes to that bat stat line on Twitter, Adrian Clayborn coming back to a system he's familiar with, and hopefully all of us coming back healthy, you can expect literally all of these things to turn us into a top 10 defense. And here's why. Let's get this one out of the way. Our defense is coming back healthy. Now I talk about this even more on 2 videos of mine, the Falcons' biggest concern of 2019 and why the Falcons could win the NFC South in 2019. So go ahead and check that out for more on that, but I'll basically sum up all that I said in those 2 episodes and put it into this one when it comes to our defense being healthy. Basically, when we all were healthy, especially with Deion Jones and Keanu Neal, we were the 9th best defense in the league 2 years ago. And last year, when we had just an absolute plethora of injuries, we ended up the 28th best defense in the league. Yeah, big difference. So obviously, expect us to climb back to the top when we get our best players back and ready to go. Second, Adrian Clayborn is back in a system he's familiar with. And that's good news for us because obviously we don't have to worry about developing a player to understand the system like Clayborn knows. So, with one of our players, being Adrian Clayborn, he's not going to be clueless out there. And also, he just won a Super Bowl last year with Tom Brady. So he's probably fired up and could possibly tell us what the Patriots did differently and how they were able to win it. He could bring in that same mentality and same type of talent from New England all the way to Atlanta. So, hey, if that's the case, Adrian Clayborn was a pretty smart move by us. And third, Vic Beasley knows the stat line doesn't lie. He knows he hasn't been all that good of a player, and you know what? I think Dan Quinn knows it. And that's why he wants to keep him, because he wants to train him into becoming who he has the potential to be. Vic Beasley replied to that stat line because he's like, okay, it's time to step things up and be who I have potential to be. Now, will he ever become that 15.5 sack season Vic Beasley? I don't really know. But he's a professional athlete, he doesn't care about opinions, he doesn't let stat lines define him, he doesn't really care about what Rise Up Rundown says, he just knows what he's capable of, and he might as well prove it this year. This is his last year in his contract, I think, anyway, so it's kind of do or die for him. He's got to prove he's worth the pickup. And if he proves to the team that he is worth the pickup, Adrian Clayborn brings in that same energy and talent from New England all the way to Atlanta, and if we stay healthy, watch out. Our defense is an absolute force to be reckoned with. So overall, I don't actually know if picking up Adrian Clayborn was a good move for us or not. Either let's hope that the theory I said earlier comes true, or something just totally exceeds my expectations and it ends up being a much better story than the one I said. Let's just hope for the best is all I'm saying. But other than that, whether you guys agree or not, please make sure to smash that like button, blow up the comment section, and definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any weekly content. There's new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern, and I will see you guys this coming Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Rise up.